Good afternoon, everyone. Ajay, Alpna, Anjali, Anjan, Anuj, Akash, Mayank, Pradyum, Sonam, Sunita, Swastika, Tanupriya, Uttam. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope all you are fine. So today we are going to discuss about technical proposal. This is a new topic which was not in your second semester syllabus. So this is a new topic in third semester syllabus, and there are some other topics like technical reports, uh, memo writing, and all. Yes, inventory report, inspection report. So there are some technical reports, technical proposal, letter writing. Okay, in the writing section. And today we are going to discuss about technical proposal. Okay. Hmm. So what is technical proposal? Actually, technical proposal is a written offer. When you propose something, maybe some idea to undertake a project or to provide some services. So whenever you propose something, and it's formally, you have to, there is a structure and you have to follow the structure, and you have to write down the proposal in a formal formal, what can I say, yes, formal structure. So there is a structure and you have to follow. Here you can see the definition. Proposals are written offers to solve a technical problem or to undertake a project of practical or theoretical manner. Proposals are to review and improve existing products and services to meet the ever increasing and complex requirements of today's highly competitive business environment. Yes, at first you have to understand what is a technical proposal and when should you write. Okay, let me give you an example. A very common example you can relate. Like, suppose you often see in your newspaper, there are various advertisements. Like, suppose our government wish to purchase some services or products for constructing bridges or dams, etc. Okay, and they whenever they have published the advertisement, then they will get some proposals, right? So, proposal is drafted in response to an advertisement, maybe not in response to an advertisement, but some of the proposals are drafted in response to an advertisement. As I have told you that suppose our government wish to purchase some products for constructing something, maybe bridges or dams or something, and if they have published any advertisement and wish to purchase these type of products, and then they will get some proposals from those various proposals. They will pick up the right one. Okay, so these type of proposal, and these proposals are called solicited proposals because these are invited proposals. Why invited? As I have told you that these proposals are written in response to an advertisement, because the proposals are invited to buy something, and then in response to the advertisement you are giving the proposal. This is called solicited proposal or invited proposals. And there are some other non-invited proposals, or you can say unsolicited proposals. In this case, there will be no advertisement or something, there will be no invitation, and you are you will write some proposal suggesting how you can provide the service. Okay, there is no invitation. As in the previous one, there is advertisement and then you write proposal. But in this case, there will be no advertisement, no invitation, and all. You just write proposal and suggest how you can provide some service. This is called unsolicited proposal. Okay. So I hope you get some idea what is a proposal and when should you write. Now, what is the importance of proposals? Why should we write proposals? What's the importance? Here you can find the importance of proposals. First point is proposals help to invite other companies or industries for strategic alliances, joint ventures, acquisitions, and mergers. Proposals enhance proper productivity and improve performance. Yes, definitely. Suppose you want to make some strategic alliances with some other organizations. Suppose you are going to represent any organization and you want to make some strategic alliances, and then you can write a formal proposal to invite them, okay, and make strategic alliances or any kind of joint ventures and all. In this way, if these strategic alliances or joint ventures is successful one, then of course it will be able to enhance productivity and improve performances also. So that's why proposal is important. And obviously proposals help in creating new methods and procedures and opening new dimensions of concepts. Whenever you will write some proposals, you have to think about new methods and ideas, right? Because there will be so many organizations who will also send the same proposal. Then um, why will your proposal be accepted? So there will be something different in you, and for that you have to think about new methods and procedures and concepts, right? So proposal in these way proposals help in creating new methods and procedures because it will make you think some new methods, and definitely it will be able to open some new dimensions of concepts. Okay, now types. Here you can see solicited proposals and unsolicited proposals. As I have told you earlier that solicited proposals are invited proposals and unsolicited proposals are uninvited proposals. Okay, solicited proposals are drafted in response to an advertisement or demand from an authority or agency. Unsolicited proposals are drafted to a particular organization suggesting how they can provide some service or develop product in exchange for funding or some other consideration. So whenever you write solicited proposals, that means you have seen the advertisement already, and in response to that organization, you are writing solicited proposals. Okay, and in unsolicited proposals, you just proposes um, any new idea or uh, how you can provide some better service, or you want to undertake a new project. That's why you can send a proposal, right? So these are unsolicited proposals. There is no advertisement. You just want to propose something. And solicited proposal, there will be advertisement. Okay. Okay, in solicited proposals you have to follow a format defined by the agencies that invite such offers. Okay, so the agencies or the organizations who are inviting proposals, they can provide the format, then you can follow. Or if there is no restriction regarding format, then you can follow the ideal format that is most commonly used while writing solicited proposals. And unsolicited proposals, yes, while writing unsolicited proposals, then also you have to follow a format. But unsolicited proposals are mainly for presenting an idea for a product or service that would be of benefit to a particular organization. Okay. Now, now we are going to discuss about the structure of a proposal, structure of a technical proposal. But before that, I would like to ask you, do you have any confusion regarding whatever we have discussed till now? Previous page, okay. Hmm. Types. Okay. You are telling me to repeat, right? Okay. Here, proposals are of two types. So we can divide proposals into two categories: solicited proposals and unsolicited proposals. Solicited proposals are invited proposals. That means you will get invitation. That means someone invitation like what can I say? Suppose our government wish to buy something, then they can publish some advertisement inviting proposals. That means they are inviting proposals. They want some proposals who can serve them the products that they wish to purchase. Okay, so solicited proposals are drafted in response to an advertisement or demand from an authority or agency. Whenever some authority or agency or any organization demand any proposal and you are writing in response to that, then it will be called a solicited proposals or invited proposals. And regarding to unsolicited proposals, there will be no advertisement, no invitation, no agency will invite some proposals. No, you are proposes something, maybe regarding some project or some new idea. So you are proposing something in a formal way, then it will be called unsolicited, sorry, yes, unsolicited proposals, and these are called uninvited proposals. Also, while writing unsolicited proposals, you have to present something that would be beneficial to the particular organization whom you are proposing. Clear? Okay. Hmm. No, no. Uh, mm, yes, obviously you have to represent some particular organization. Suppose you are representing some particular organization and you are writing, you can write um, any proposal to some other organization. So obviously you have to represent some organization, but you can write to some other organization. You can propose to some other organization regarding a project or some new idea. Clear, Anjali? Or still do you have any confusion? You can tell. Hmm. 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 Yes, of course, definitely. Hmm. 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 Yes, of course. You have to. Hmm. That person should be the member of that organization. Obviously, you have to represent the organization. Then you can propose. No, no, no. To any random organization, not that particular organization only. No, no. Suppose you wish to propose. Um, you yes. Suppose you want to undertake a new project. Okay, so you have the information regarding the project, and then you can propose something to undertake the project to other organization. So to as I have told you, to make some strategic alliances with some other organization. Not clear, Anjali? Okay, let me tell you again. Hmm. Yes, whenever they give advertisement, and this is called invited proposal. I have told you the example also. Okay, I will provide some example. I will provide some example or some sample copy. Then at first go through the sample copy of the proposal, and then you will get some idea. And then if you have any confusion, then you can ask me again. Okay. Now let me complete the structure. Yes, yes, Anuj. Of course. Solicited proposals. Solicited proposals. They can invite proposals from others to invest. They can give advertisement in papers. So solicited proposals. You want investment, like you want others to invest in your organization or not. Then obviously you have to give you have to give advertisement. You have to invite advertisement, and they will send you proposals who are willing to invest in your organization. Okay. Now regarding structure. Okay. Now, while writing proposals, you can follow a formal structure. Okay. Uh, the structure can be divided into two parts, prefatory section and main body. In the prefatory section, you can see first title page, then letter of transmittal, then executive summary, then table of contents. In the main body, there is introduction, technical section, management section, cost estimate, and finally conclusion. Okay. Yes, there are sources and references also, supplementary section and appendix. Oh yes, there is. Before going to the structure, I would like to tell you the difference between a proposal and a report. Okay, here you can see a proposal identifies a particular need, explains it thoroughly, and recommends how this need can best be met. That means, yes, whenever you are writing a proposal, you have to explain thoroughly your proposed idea. Okay, and it should identify a particular need. Okay, and report is uh, generally written to identify a specific problem, explain it, and recommend action that will lead to a solution. So report is generally regarding, you can say, problems and the proposed solution. Okay, and you have to explain it thoroughly. And proposal is something regarding proposition. That means you are proposing something, maybe idea, project, and whatever, which can identify a particular need, and you have to explain it. And regarding proposal, it involves cost for the execution of the proposed idea, and in report it only highlights the reasons based on the interpretation of the data and make recommendations. Just remember that report is regarding, problems, some specific problems, and explain. You have to, while writing technical report, you have to explain the problem, and then you can recommend some action that will lead to a solution. We will definitely discuss about technical reports. There are various types of technical reports, inventory report, inspection report, a memo report. So we will discuss about all the technical reports here. Just to give a general idea, what's the difference between proposal and a report, I'm telling you now. Okay, my screen is visible or not? Visible. Okay. Okay, now you can see a sample copy of a proposal. In the group also I have shared, so from there you can go through the sample copy, and this file also I will definitely upload in the Google Classroom. Okay. Sorry. Okay, now okay, so while writing a proposal, at first you have to write the title page. Okay, here you can see the sample copy of title page. You all know that title page is very important. Why? Because title page creates a good impact on the reader, right? Whenever the reader starts reading your proposal, the first thing that will create impact is the title page. So your title page should be um, what can I say, yes, should be convincing, interesting, and full of required information. What are the information you can give in your title page section? Like here you can see the name of the organization for which you are preparing your proposal, the proposer's name, who is proposing, so the proposer's name and designation, also the name of the organization to which the proposer belongs, and the year of the proposal, so date should be mentioned. These are the things you should mention while writing title page. Okay, now here you can see executive summary or proposal summary, right? What is the executive summary? In the sorry, in the executive summary section, sorry, in the executive summary section, you can write or you can provide information regarding the background, purpose, scope, and methodology of your proposed idea. Okay, so a brief background. Whenever the recipient of the proposal go through the executive summary section, he or she must get some idea, some complete idea about your, not detail, but the complete idea, what you are proposing. So, in the executive summary section, you have to include these information like background, purpose of your proposal, scope, methodology, um, and infrastructure, facilities, significance. So these are the points you should include while writing executive summary. Okay. And remember that the recipient must consider it worth. It should be while going through the executive summary section, the recipient should think that yes, it's a valuable one, so we can go through. He must or she must get a complete idea about your proposal, what you are writing. So in the executive summary section, you should include these points. Okay. Now table of contents. You all know what to write in table of contents, right? It's a very common one. Here you can see the sample copy also. Background, origin of the proposal, then objective, infrastructural benefits, other benefits. So in the table of contents, you have to write down all the points that you are going to discuss in detail in your proposal. Where's the introduction part? Okay, yeah, yes, here it is. Introduction. Executive summary, table of contents, and then introduction. Okay. Introduction should also be, interesting. It should, um, it should be very clear about the purpose of your proposal, and the recipient should get a clear understanding of your proposal, of your proposed idea. The recipient should get a clear understanding about the important aspects of your proposal. Okay? So you should be clear and specific while writing introduction section. The sample copy you can go through. Mayank, say. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Hmm. No, no, they will definitely take you, because the ideas that they will take, those ideas belongs to you, right? So they will definitely take you. Why don't they? They will definitely take. Good question. Is there any solution someone suggest? All the participants say, Hmm.